Starting out great. Hi, everybody. This is Francisco from Sports Goofs, and I have traveled back in time to the Polo Grounds. We're in Upper Manhattan. Tom Brenneman nor Steve Lyons are effectively removed them. They are sitting in the back of a trunk somewhere in Shreveport, Louisiana. So if anybody wants to find them, that's where they are. The St. Louis Cardinals are visiting the New York Mets. I don't know if many people know this, or I guess some people probably know this, but other people don't. The Mets used to play at the Polo Grounds briefly until Shea Stadium was completed. And yes, we were looking at the St. Louis Cardinals lineup there. Fernando Vina, J.D. Drew, Jim Edmonds, Albert Pujols, Scott Rowland, Tino Martinez, Edgar Renteria, Joe Girardi, and I think that's Matt Morris as their pitcher. Or umpire view, whatever you want to call it, as the umpire is behind the plate. We had an invisible umpire at Yankee Stadium the other day. That was interesting. J.D. Drew coming up now as Vina flied out there. And yeah, I'm going to talk about old baseball players because that's what the people like. People like retired baseball players. That's just... And whoa, look at that. You see? A line drive that almost got out immediately. Those walls are pretty high at the Polo Grounds, but it's not like they constructed a giant green monster like they did in Fenway or in other ballparks. Ebbets Field had a giant wall in right field. And that's a strike there. That's one of the crazy things about the Polo Grounds. Of course, just the massive amount of field out in center. That's a swing and a miss from J.D. Drew, and he has struck out. Now Jim Edmonds is up. Now, which player shall I choose as our first retired player to talk about today? Well, I already put it together here. I'm going to go with Joe Girardi. Yes, Joe Girardi. Yeah, people will, of course. Whoa, that's a deep drive to left center field, and that's not a ground rule double. There's a chain link fence right there above the crowd, and it's a double. Albert Pujols now going to be a Hall of Famer, that's for sure, once he retires. Man on first with 2 outs. So this is a nice classic battle between Pujols and Glavine. Tom Glavine, of course, made it into the Hall of Fame as an Atlanta Brave. Back to Joe Girardi. Let's talk about Joe Girardi. There's a lot we could talk about, that's for sure. On his baseball reference page, he's wearing a Chicago Cubs hat. Played catcher, of course. Batted righty, threw righty. 5'11", 195 pounds when he played. He still looks like he's in game shape, that's for sure. As Pujols walks, Scott Rowland up now. Girardi was born October 14th, 1964. He is now 55 years old. Born in Peoria, Illinois. Drafted by the Chicago Cubs in the 5th round of the 1986 draft out of Northwestern University. Girardi made his major league debut April 4th, 1989 at the age of 24, and that's gone. That's a home run. There we go. So, Scott Rowland taking advantage of the dimensions of the Polo Grounds, takes Tom Glavine, I wouldn't say deep. He just takes him into that second deck in left field, and the Cardinals are up. Wow, that was... This is going to be interesting here. These guys never played under these conditions. Tino Martinez was on the Cardinals, if people don't remember that. 3-0 Cardinals. And for those of you who want to play something interesting for PS4, your PC, your Mac, or your Xbox One, Age of Wonders Planetfall Invasions. You can get that. New expansion is out now. And thank you, Paradox, for sponsoring Sports Goofs. And that's a pop-up to the left fielder. And that is 3 outs. The Cardinals getting 3 runs on a 3-run homer by Scott Rowland. I don't know what Cliff Floyd is doing to that umpire, but I guess it was legal back in the 50s. Maybe? I don't even know. It was weird. It was strange. I'm just going to say that. I am just going to say that. Where was I? Joe Girardi made his Major League debut April 4th, 1989 at the age of 24 versus the Philadelphia Phillies. He had 3 at-bats and his first 2 Major League hits. That's a very nice day to become a Major Leaguer. His last game ever came September 28, 2003 at the age of 38 versus the Arizona Diamondbacks. Oh, liner back to Morris. Look at this play right there. Ooh, quick reflexes. Getting the first out there, Roberto Alomar, Hall of Famer, of course, coming up for New York. Back to Joe Girardi. His last game ever, yes, against the Arizona Diamondbacks. 2 at-bats, got his last ever Major League hit. Played for Team USA while he was in college. And his full name is Joseph Elliott Girardi. Made 1 All-Star team, won 3 World Series championships, and won the 2006 Manager of the Year award. And that's a pop out to the right fielder. 2 away here. Cliff Floyd now. He can. It's hard for me to say he can take you deep in a ballpark like this. He can poke one out to right field and get a home run. That's all I can say right here at the Polo Grounds. So, Girardi, yes, won a Manager of the Year award with the Florida Marlins, and then